This conference will now be recorded.
So hi all, my name is Chandra and I'm welcoming you all to the training session which is performance testing real-time project with JMeter. It is one of a kind training which is being provided by our institution. So you will not find any other, any such kind of training, a real-time project training with any other places. So with this training, our objective is that we'll have hands-on experience of a performance testing project, how we are going to work in a performance testing project. So before that, I will introduce myself. My name is Chandra and I have 12 plus years of experience on performance testing in this industry. I am like Micro Focus LoadRunner certified professional as well as BlazeMeter JMeter certified. I have worked on different tools like Apache JMeter, Micro Focus LoadRunner, NeoLoad, and also application monitoring tools like Dynatrace, AppDynamics, Puffmon, Nmon, etc. Okay, so I'll be your training for this training. So let us go through the course content and what we are going to achieve out of this training. Okay, and what will be the benefits along with whatever the course content, whatever you will learn, but along with that, what will be the benefits which you will get out of this training. So let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible to all of you. So this is the course which we are going to go through, that is the performance testing real-time project with JMeter. As the name suggests, this training will enable you to get deployed into a JMeter project, performance testing project with JMeter. So in this we have our application. So we will do the performance testing of an application. So whenever you are going to be deployed into a project, you will be provided with an application, right? So with that we will learn. So let me go through the course curriculum. Okay, so if you see here, we have, that is the performance test lifecycle understanding. So if you are not aware of the performance testing lifecycle, it will be difficult for you to work in a performance testing project. So I will explain you the performance test lifecycle in detail, like requirement gathering, test plan and design, test execution, test reporting, and sign off, right? So what all are the different activities being performed in that particular phase, I'll explain you in details, so that once you have a holistic view, you have an overall view of all the different phases of all the different activities, then you will be able to understand it better. You will, in the beginning itself, you will know that okay, these are the different phases, these are the different activities which I will carry out in the different phases. Now that is applicable to both waterfall model as well as agile model. Okay, so you will get a question in your mind whether I'll be able to work in an agile project or not, whether I'll be able to work in a waterfall project or not. So nowadays the waterfall projects are rare. Most of the projects are running on agile. So that also, that is also included in the like our topic. Okay, so once you get means once you understand the performance test life cycle, what are all the different phases. So here you see the course curriculum. So the performance testing life cycle and walkthrough I will provide. Then the non-functional requirements gathering. Okay, so we have different requirements, that is functional requirements and non-functional requirements. For performance testing, we are interested in non-functional requirements, so we have to collect those non-functional requirements. Now whether every time you will be able to collect them, are there any challenges, those also we are going to see that. I'll give you live examples, guys. Okay, and then once you get those non-functional requirements, what are you going to do with that? And if you do not get the non-functional requirements also, in that case also, what you are going to do? So those two cases I'll explain. And then once you get the non-functional requirements, this one guys, static testing of NFRs. Most of the people are not aware what is static testing, but I am going to cover that. Okay, what all things you are going to do in static testing, I'm going to cover that in the non-functional requirements section. Okay, so by static testing, what it means, that whatever non-functional requirements you have got, whether they are correct or if there is any ambiguity in them, because if there is any ambiguity, then we will not be able to proceed. We need to remove the ambiguity from the non-functional requirements. Then if any data is missing, if any data is missing or if any data is ambiguous. Okay, so in the static testing of the non-functional requirements, we will carry out different testing. I will show you how to do that. Then this is also one of the deliverable. If you find defects, static testing defects, you have to report that. So there will be a template which I'll show how you can demonstrate these defects, how you can produce the results of the static testing to the customer. Okay, then for performance testing, the application architecture is very important. Okay, so I will take you through the architecture of the application. I'll make you understand how to analyze the application architecture. Along with that, I will show you the other examples of different application architectures, because there are many architectures possible, so based on which the application can be developed. So in application architecture is very important for performance testing. So we need to know how to analyze the application flows, application architecture. Okay, and then once we understand that, we need to finalize the business flows. Whatever business flows will be in scope of performance testing, we need to finalize that. Okay, and also NFR also, whatever NFR is provided to you, that should be finalized, that should be approved. Then only you will be able to proceed with that, right? So we need how to finalize the NFRs, how to finalize the business flows, what are the different steps which you need to do for that, that also we are going to cover. Then so all these activities were part of the requirement gathering phase, guys. Okay, then we have the test strategy and test plan documentation. So we will see how to document the test strategy, how to document the test plan. So many people get confused whether test strategy and test plan is same, or whether test strategy and test plan are different. No one will tell you that, but I am going to tell you that what is the difference between test strategy, difference between test plan, how to document both those documentations. There are customers, there are clients who look for both the documents, test strategy as well as test plan, because only when your strategy is approved, you will plan out your testing, right? You need to provide that strategy, you need to get it approved, and then you can proceed for your test plan documentation. Clear all of you? So definitely test strategy and test plan are different. I will show you the templates, I will show you how to document both of these documents. Okay, clear all of you? I'll take a pause here. Any queries, any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask.
So, roughly how much time would it take for you to cover uh, the mentioned things, whatever you've covered so far?
Yeah, so the plan is like, if you see here, we'll have, the plan is like in 35 hours. Okay, we'll have 35 hours of training. The plan is to cover
Mhm.
them in 35 hours.
No, but whatever you just mentioned about the static testing or understanding the
Okay, so
flows,
okay, you wanted to ask about
the
these things
breakup,
only,
yeah,
like
right,
the first 6 topics, the first
right,
five topics.
like whatever, right, yeah.
Yeah. So these will be covered in 6 hours,
Okay.
6-7 hours. Okay.
Okay, just a
So
follow-up
now,
question.
And
Uh, Sorry to interrupt. Uh,
no problem.
see, you see, the current applications are running into extreme agile, right? So with that, do you see any, you know, time for a performance tester where they have to get approvals for strategy and plan both?
See, agile model, okay, the agile model where we work in scrums, okay,
Mm.
it depends on your project. It depends on the duration of your project. Agile means less documentation or zero documentation, right? Even if there is zero documentation, we need to provide a plan, we need to provide a strategy, okay, and that strategy needs to be approved. Because if your plan, if your strategy is not, see, in agile you will have user stories, okay, and you may not do the performance testing of the whole product in, because based on your sprint whatever is available to you, you will do the performance test of that. So we will tell it as early performance testing or component level performance testing. We are testing each of the components, but you need to provide that overview to the customer, right? That what is your approach for your performance testing. So definitely I will say that yes, test, you may not be producing an extensive document, but if you have the entire document view, then you can squeeze it for your agile model also. Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Any other queries, anyone?
I mean, what is the application?
Yeah,
What is the application
yeah.
we are using here?
So we have our inbuilt application, it is hosted on our servers, okay, that is a web application basically. So it is hosted on our server and we will use that application for our training.
Okay, will this by
Is it
any chance
MFS
also
or else
cover?
it is different?
Yeah,
Sorry,
so one by
sorry to
one.
interrupt. Is it MFS or else a different application?
So MFS are you saying?
Hello. Yeah, yeah, that's what.
MFA are you asking, or which one are you asking?
I mean application name. That's what I'm asking.
No, it is not MFS.
Okay,
The
fine, fine.
application is our application, our academy's application. Okay, so that we will be using.
Oh, like JPIT, right? Or else any
No,
different?
no, no, it is not JPEG. It is, see, in whenever you are going to get deployed in a project, you will get an application or not to test.
Yeah, yeah, that's what.
Similarly, so this is a real-time project. Okay. So in this,
Okay.
we have our own application. So you have to think that you have been deployed into a project and you have been asked to do the performance testing of an application. So now we will, we will, think that we are working in a project now. We have got an application to test. I'll share the details of those application. Okay. And then
Okay,
for
thanks for update.
yeah, for that we'll have our NFRs. For that we'll do the static testing. For that, I'll give different. I'll knowingly I'll just tell you, means I will not give full NFRs so that we can do the static testing. We can find out where the issue is, where the defects are, right? So that you get that real time experience. Yeah. Any other question?
For update.
Sorry, can you please come again?
Thanks for update. That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking.
no
I
problem.
mean,
Yeah,
you have given.
yeah, no problem. Any other queries, or shall I proceed?
Yeah, Chandra. One question is here, like, if can we get such experience, like, in a project, for the very first time, PT has been like PT is introduced, and we are supposed to do so. How you need to make the client understand, or those kind of
Definitely, I'll
email.
cover that as well. So if I understood your question correctly, you are saying that the performance testing is introduced for the first time. The application is completely new. The application is going live for the first time, and you have been asked to
Yes,
do the
yes.
performance testing for that. Yes. So that flavor also I'll bring in this, because right now whatever application will be given to you in this project, in this training, that is means for the first time which is going to be given to you, right? You do not have any performance testing results or performance testing baseline earlier, so that is going to be a completely new application for you. So
Yeah,
whatever,
it's like client also doesn't know about the NFR. Any SLA is not
yes,
yet
that
decided.
everything I'll
All
tell you.
these
So that
things.
is I told you, know, in this non-functional requirement gathering phase, you see, this one I'll tell you what are the challenges. Now I told you that there are two cases: either you will get the NFRs or you will not get the NFRs. So if you do not get the NFRs, what should be your next steps? If you get the NFRs, what should be your next steps? Right, so those things I'll cover.
Okay.
Completely real time, hands on performance testing. Yeah, next question.
By any chance, will this cover, even as part of the project, any application that is hosted on the cloud, say AWS or Azure?
No, for this one, see, NFRs. I'll tell you, like for our application, whatever are the NFRs. Along with that, I will give you the samples of like microservice application. Okay, application based on
Mhm.
microservices. For that, how you are going to get the NFRs, right? So I'll show you the different varieties of NFRs also, how you are going to get. I'll show you the samples. Okay, how the customer provides, then what should be your approach for that.
No, not for the microservices, but anything that is hosted on cloud, say AWS or say
Sure,
Azure
sure.
or.
Yes. Yeah, I
Okay,
gave you an example. I gave you an example
okay,
that
sure.
for our application, I'll show you the NFRs. For microservices, for other technologies. Okay. So how the NFRs will look like.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so let me proceed. So then we have the, see, I want to cover all of them because it's not that you will only work on agile. It could be waterfall also, right? So it depends on project to project. But if we have the entire view, if we have the entire knowledge, we can work in any project. Okay. Then the test strategy and plan documentation. Okay, I told you like if with they're different or not, if they're same. Okay, so that thing will cover, and how to document both of them. Workload model design and user distribution, that is very important. In interviews also you get questions on this: how to design the workload model, what are the different variables, how you will determine that, what will be your think time, what will be your pacing. If you do not have information on those parameters, what are you going to do, right? So you will see how to design the workload model. And user distribution, right? You will have different scenarios, so how are you going to distribute your users for the different scenarios, right? What should be your approach? So those things, these are very important, guys, very important in performance testing. Then walk through, how what should be your approach for walkthrough of a test strategy, walkthrough of a test plan. Now it is a huge document. Test plan is a huge document. You will not be able to cover the complete contents in the walkthrough, right? So what should be your approach, how we should do the walkthrough, that I'm going to showcase as well. Okay, nowadays we have Zira enterprise solution as well, so people do not document them on Word document, so they do it on Confluence, okay, or any SharePoint. So that also is being done. So these are the different approaches which you can take. Then test tool feasibility analysis. Now there are different test tools for your application. Which tool is going to fit? that also needs to be identified. That is known as a proof of concept, POC, or test tool feasibility analysis, we can say that as well, right? Because many people do not understand proof of concept. So in simple words, in layman's language, I have written test tool feasibility analysis. So whatever test tool we have identified, whether that is going to be feasible for our application for test script development, that we need to identify. Okay, so that is test tool feasibility analysis. Then the JMeter installation and POC, which I was telling how to install JMeter, okay, and the proof of concept for that. Okay, and then the okay, any queries till now? Then the test environment setup. Okay, how should your test environment is set up for now the performance testing? What are the requirements? What should be your approach? On which team will you be dependent? What should be your communication approach? Okay, what risks should you raise? What assumptions should you mention? What issues, what dependencies you need to mention? Okay, I'll show you a list of questionnaire also, like for test environment setup, for requirement guys, everything guys. Okay, for different phases, what should be your questionnaire? What information should you collect from the customer? Okay, based on those questions, no, you will be able to identify what all information you need from the customer. So once your tool is installed, once you have finalized your tool, once you have identified that your tool is compatible with your application, once your test environment is set up, the performance test environment, what is your next step? Your next step is to develop the test script. Remember guys, we do not say that we write test cases. Remember, we develop test scripts. Okay, we develop. That is why the demand of performance testing is high in the market. Okay, so test script development phase, we will see, we will develop test scripts in real time. Okay, then comes the test data, which is another critical part. Okay, in performance testing, it is not a single user test. Now single user test is also required, but when it is required, I'll tell you, I'll explain you. So test data requirement is very critical because we have to do the test with multiple set of users, the different type of tests, load test, test, endurance test, breakpoint test. Now many people think that stress test and breakpoint test are the same, but I'll tell you the difference. What is the difference between them? Okay, so what is your test data requirement for your application? You have to understand that. Okay, so how you will identify what is your test data requirement? How are you going to fulfill the test data requirement? What should be your approach? Those all things we will discuss. Then test script dry run. So what is dry run of a test script? Why it is required? We will look into that. Okay. Then the test scenario design for load and stress test. Then we'll design our test scenario for the load test. So just think that in our approach, we have suggested that we are going to do the load test and we are going to do the stress test based on the non-functional requirements provided to us. Okay, so we'll design the test scenario. Now see guys, very important, very important. With this course you will get to know how to integrate JMeter with Dynatrace. Okay, JMeter with Dynatrace. So that also I'm going to cover, how you can integrate JMeter with Dynatrace. And once that integration is there, okay, you will go into the test execution phase. Okay, load test execution. First we will do the load test execution, and along with that we will do the monitoring, and monitoring with Dynatrace, because we have already integrated Dynatrace with JMeter over here. Clear all of you? And then we have the load test results. So whatever test we executed, we will collect the test results and the server side stats from the Dynatrace. Okay, so from the application monitoring side, whatever details we can get, like front end, the front end stats, the server side stats, the infrastructure stats, all those things will collect from Dynatrace. Then we have the stress test execution. Okay, we'll conduct the stress test execution. We'll monitor the stress test with Dynatrace. Similarly, we will collect the stress test results and the analysis part. So all this we will cover. Any queries till now, guys? Any queries?
So in test script development, right? So are you going to cover all the elements in the JMeter, or I mean, what are the I mean, what are the
For
elements
our
that you're?
application, we'll develop the test script. But
Mhm.
if you all are interested, I can touch base upon other components also. Okay, not an issue. But I hope of you would be aware of JMeter, right? So because JMeter
Yes.
itself, we are providing a separate course for JMeter.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yes, I can cover a few, all the other components, what are the usage and all. But for our application, we will cover the most important ones which are required for the test script development. So you'll get to know. Uh,
Okay.
Everyone will develop the test script. Okay.
Okay, we'll get some real-time challenges, right? While doing scripting. So,
Yes, yes, yes.
are you? I mean, like, are you going to cover any Bean shell scripting in this course?
So in this course, I will maybe I'll cover the Groovy scripting. Means I'll give a few examples. Okay, but
Mhm.
Groovy scripting details will not go. Okay,
Okay.
but yes,
Okay.
the JSR2. So Beancell I'll not cover. I'll cover Groovy. So we have two components like Beancell and the JSR223 sampler, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
ESR223 sampler has improved performance than Binshell. So
Okay.
nowadays BlazeMeter also recommends to use JSR223. So and also with
Okay.
JSR223 we have flexibility to use either Groovy or Binshell. Okay, so you can use any
Okay.
of them with JSR223. So maybe I'll cover
Okay.
a few examples
Okay.
for JSR223 as well. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Then once this is done, we'll go to distributed testing. So what is distributed testing? How can you do that with JMeter? Okay, those all things we will check. Okay, and then we will have the test report preparation, guys.
Just a one question. I mean, when we are doing distributing testing, we can cause any something like errors, right? Do you can able to show that one? What type of errors we will get when we are connecting to distributed mode?
So I will show you the configuration, how to do the configuration and all, how we can connect. So you should not get any errors. Now,
Okay.
why there could be some possible reasons because of which you are getting that error. That I'll also tell you what are the prerequisites for distributed testing. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Then we'll go through test report preparation. How will you prepare a test report? I'll show you the template. We'll prepare the test report for our execution. Whatever execution we did, for those executions, we'll prepare the test report. Then comes the test report walkthrough. We'll get the test report walkthrough with the customer stakeholders. And then the test closer and sign off, guys. Once the test report walkthrough is done, we'll have the test closer. So now there are two possibilities, that you are giving a go ahead, but and the other one is that you are not giving a go ahead, right? So what are those scenarios? What can be the circumstances? Those all things I'll explain you from real time projects. Okay, like from my experience. Okay, I'm going to share you what all are the different circumstances in which you will have to provide the sign off, or you are not going to provide the sign off, or you're going to provide the conditional sign off. Okay, so those are the different circumstances. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to cover. Now as part of the training, we are going to cover some bonus topics also, guys. Okay, So the bonus topics are like performance testing efforts estimation. Okay, so when like this is basically the role of a performance test lead. You are going to provide your estimation that how much of effort is required. Based on that, how many resources will be required. Based on that, what will be your timeline for performance testing, right? Then performance testing in waterfall and agile. So in waterfall model, what will be your approach for performance testing? In agile model, what will be your approach for performance testing? Okay. Then versioning control and pipeline execution. Nowadays, this thing is implemented in most of the projects, that the tests are executed automatically on the pipeline, guys. Okay, so those concepts I'll explain you. I'll give you the view on that. And then I'll also discuss the different interview questions, guys. Okay, so that let's say you have knowledge on JMeter, but you have not worked on any performance testing project. So what kind of interview questions you can expect, so that you can get deployed into a performance testing project, or you can get. So once you do this real-time project course, you will get to know how the project moves, how we are going to work in a performance testing project, what will be our role, what are the different activities that we are going to cover in the performance testing project. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to cover in the performance testing project, real-time project with JMeter training. Okay, so few rules like um, all the sessions will be recorded. Okay, all the sessions will be recorded. You will have lifetime access to those videos. Okay, once you enroll for this course and will complete the course, you will have lifetime access to the videos. You will get this certificate from our academy. Okay, so once you complete the course, you will get a certificate, and definitely this you know course is going to give you that real-time experience of a project. So you will have higher confidence. Okay, you will have higher confidence to work in a performance testing project. You will be able to contribute in an effective way to the project. Okay, so these were the details which I wanted to share for this session today. And with this, you will be able to, at the end of the course, you will understand the performance test life cycle. You will be able to know how to collect the non-functional requirements, what should be your next steps for the non-functional requirement, then the application architecture understanding, preparation of the test plan and test strategy, workload modeling. Okay, then the business transition flow document, then how to develop the performance test script, designing the performance test scenarios, execution of the dry run tests and planned performance tests. Okay, and Dynatrace, how to integrate the Dynatrace with JMeter, how to create the dashboards in Dynatrace, those all things we will show. And then we monitoring the application performance monitoring with Dynatrace during test execution. That part I'm going to cover, and how to analyze, collect the test results, and prepare the test report and the test sign off. Okay, and then also the bonus topics which I already told you that those things are going to be covered in the session. So the training is going to be exciting. Okay, so if you have any queries, please ask now, or you can also ask in the group. Okay, so any queries are welcome. I'm happy to clarify them, and then the updates will be shared in the group as well. Any queries, anyone? I'll take a pause. Any queries?
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
During load test execution, middle of the load test execution, we will getting an error. So the error will, which server, app or DB or web. So
Yes.
how to
From
identify
Dynatrace to be
in
able to
Dynatrace?
identify. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, cover this session, right? In this session.
Yes, yes.
That okay, yeah. Thank you.
So not only Dynatrace, you will have application logs, and also there are different things. There are different approaches on analysis part, right? But if you get any error during execution, how to analyze them? It could be due to your load generator also. So those things also I will cover.
Chandra, one quick doubt here. So, are we
Yeah.
covering the resume preparation and the Naukri profile creation in this course?
Okay. So we'll include that also. Not an issue. Okay.
And are
That
we
that
providing the training materials like the notes and
yes,
like
the training materials will be provided as the templates, like the static testing, the test strategy, a test plan, okay, all those things, all the templates will be shared. Along with that, you will have all the videos, all the sessions will be recorded. Like as today, the demo session is also recorded, right? So if all the sessions will be recorded, and the access will be provided to you, and you will going to have lifetime access to the videos, lifetime.
Chandra, what about the like error, like doubt resolving? Like suppose after completing the
In
session, if
the
we
class
join in our
itself, in the class
yeah,
itself, you can ask. Okay, you were
no,
saying once the
after
training ends.
class, yeah,
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 once the
after the
training
complete
ends,
comes out.
once the training ends, you can reach to me for you with your queries, and I can help with you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. How many real-time applications are using in this session? One
So
or
for this training, we'll have our web application.
sorry, not able to hear.
For this training, we'll have our web application to be used.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
And what will be the regular timing for the class? Like now it was
It will be 9
in
p.m. to 10. It will be 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST.
Chandra, can we not increase this timing of this 9 to 10:30, like half an hour, so like to get these training complete before the timings?
No, sincere apologies for that. So why I'm saying is, I believe that if we learn, means if we learn for lesser duration, it will be more
Mhm.
effective. Okay, the training. So let's do it for 1 hour each day, so that you can also understand, you can grab them, you can put them in your brain, so that because if the session is lengthy, it becomes boring. That is what I feel. So that is why our academy has designed the sessions 1 hour each every day, so that you can grab, you can understand,
Okay.
you can put them into your mind. Yeah.
So we have the session like all 7 days in a week, right?
No, so it will be only on weekdays, Monday to Friday.
Okay, Monday to Friday. Okay, that's fine.
is there
Because
any batch that
couples, right? So you don't have to spend weekends with your families, right? So yeah.
Sir,
Query.
how
And
many
you
types
and
of
please don't
testings
call
are
me,
you?
please don't call me sir. Simply call me Chandra. Yeah, please tell me.
Yep. How many types of what testings are using in this? I mean, load and stress and endurance. How many?
The endurance will be 8 hours, right? So we cannot do that, right? So, but
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you the concept. Endurance test is for longer duration, right? So see, once you
Prolonged.
understand load, once you understand stress, endurance is not a big
Mm.
deal. Okay. Well,
Yep.
yes,
Oh,
as I told you in the course curriculum, we'll cover load test and stress test.
yep. Thank
And I'll tell you the details about endurance test, anyways, right?
you. Yeah, okay.
What are the issues we face and how we need to report? How we
Definitely,
like
that is
all
very
the
important, and definitely that is going to be covered. What all areas you need to focus on? What are the hotspots? We call it as hotspots, right? What are the hotspots where you are more likely going to get errors, issues? Those are things we are going to cover.
Chandra, as I'm new to this performance testing, I don't have any idea about this JMeter or the performance testing. So like, is it getting useful for me as well, or do I need any kind of prerequisite to before starting
Do you
this
do you
training?
do you know JMeter?
No, like I just heard this for like it's a performance testing tool. That's what only I'm aware
So
about.
in that case, I think you should. We have training on JMeter also. Okay. We are going to
So,
means.
so you mean to say that I need have some prior
Yeah, I
knowledge on the
think
JMeter?
because I'm not going to cover JMeter lectures also on this. Means definitely we'll do the test script development because but if you are not aware of JMeter, then it will be difficult. So for that, I think because if you see here, it will be mentioned that the prerequisite is that anyone who wants
Okay,
to get good hold. Yeah,
so what mainly components we are using in like in this
sorry.
training? What kind of components we are using of the JMeter
Component
here?
means
Components
yeah,
means the yeah,
the elements.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so we are going to use thread group. We are going to use
No, no. What is basically difference between the having the JMeter prior knowledge and directly joining this training?
because see we are going to use JMeter, right? So if you do not have knowledge on JMeter, then how will you understand like when we are developing the test script? You are happy to join because when we means because when we will develop the test script, definitely you will know like how each element we are using and all. But to have more understanding on JMeter, I'll also recommend you to join one of our JMeter training session.
Okay, okay, Chandra.
But this is our focus on the real time project. It's not on it is not more on technical understanding, but it is more on real time project. So basically, whenever we are going to work in a performance testing project, what will be our different activities, how what will be our approach, what are the different steps which we are going to take.
Okay, got
Sir,
it.
yeah, how many users we are using in this session, like using load testing, like 500 or 1000?
Those all details I'll share with you. Okay, so when we go into those topics, see, whatever is the number of users, because I'm going to cover distributed testing also, right? From that, you can increase your
Yes.
users based on the non-functional requirements. You cannot do a test of your own, right? Based on the NFRs, you are going to do.
Yep. Sometimes we are using 10,000 users. That is critical to handle. Right?
Yeah, but based on the requirement, you will use that, right? You have a requirement for that.
Okay. So, which kind of data we are using in this session, like reusable data, unique, like
Sorry, can you please come again? What kind of data?
which kind of data we are using in this session? I mean, so test data. I mean, unique, reusable data, like that. There are different types of
Yes,
data, are there, right?
yes. So I'll tell you how to use unique, how to use,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Thank you, sir.
no problem.
Will you share the knowledge how to build those deliverables? Like suppose someone is single, like someone is solely handling the PT part in a project. Will it be helpful?
Yes. See, nowadays, the demand is that if an individual should be able to deliver a project on its own, right? So from this, you will get to know all those things. You will be able to, I can tell you that one at the end of the course, you will be so much confident that you will be able to deliver a project on your own.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other queries? Okay. So thank you all for joining today's demo session. If you have any other queries, please feel free to ping in the WhatsApp group. Okay, we are happy to resolve your queries, and the details of the next sessions will be provided in the WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you all for joining today, and looking forward to see you all soon in the further sessions. Thank you all. Have a good night.